Good morning from rather dull and drizzly Friday the 13th of December here at Ogbourne Downs Golf Club. Today we will do a general update. We'll talk wear and tear and some of the posts and ropes and things we've been putting out, and then an update on the 17th tee. I'm recording from the 17th tee, and you can see in the background there that winter project tee has all been turfed. So more of that to come later. General update. A lot of the course mowing on the course is now as and when. So we've mowed greens twice this week and barely took anything off the second time. So yes, just very much as and when. Becomes very important when you're not taking very much grass off in the winter. Rolling is a fantastic tool for us to keep the performance up of the greens. So roller really important this time of year, which is fantastic. Again, tees and green surrounds also we've cut this week, but they're as and when, so we can fit that in around our schedules. And also holes have been changed once this week. Quite a nice, whilst it's a bit dull and dreary now, we've had generally very dry conditions, so we're able to put those pins in those dry spots, in those wet spots, so take advantage of perhaps the left side of one and right side of three, as we've sometimes we'll quite often in the winter when we get wet weather we'll reserve those spots for when it's wet and we need them in dry areas. So it's a whole change once this week, which sees that they'll all service today. So nice reset and trim up, ready for the weekend to make those last through till Monday at least. A couple other things we've been up to this week. Mark and myself have been interviewing to fill the apprentice vacancy. That will start first week of the successful applicant will start first week of January. So we've had a list of candidates that we've worked through, and now we're performing interviews this week. So a couple of really good candidates. Very excited for that. A couple more to do next week, and then so we've been up to that as well this week. Also, the digger's been up between 3 and 5. We left those tree stumps a little bit longer on purpose so that the digger is able to pull those tree stumps out along with the roots that are there. So you will see the digger, and that's partially complete. So most of those are pulled out. We'll finish that off next week, but just to tidy that area up and then get some soil and seed in those old stumps there, and then also just doing a bit of pest control as well. We do it most weeks, but quite a few moles around the site and are quite active, so a bit of time into trying to catch those as well. So that's been the general setups this week. As I said, very as and when, but plenty of rolling to keep the performance up, especially in this dry weather. Give a good golf course for the best we can. And then next we'll go on to post and rope wear and tear, and then talk through the 17th tee. So we're going to talk wear and tear on the golf course and post and rope, as we've been out putting a bit of time into this week. The reason we do this is to try and keep the golf course as clean as possible. We're a very busy golf course, getting lots of rounds of golf in the winter, being such a dry site. We never really have a trolley ban, so they're out all year round. So lots of wheel marks with trolleys and buggies as well. And as I said, lots of rounds of golf. So that creates lots of pinch points as well. So we address some of the wear and tear areas early in the winter by roping some areas off on pathways. Now that we've gone to blue tees, which we put out last week, we can start addressing some of the areas whereby we had yellow tees and the wear and tear that was caused by those for the first half of the winter. And now we've gone on to the blue tees, we can start to try and redirect traffic elsewhere, to give those areas around the yellow tees a bit of a rest. So that's the main reason we do this, as I said, to try and keep it very clean. You'll see a lot more post and rope down the bottom end of the golf course, so on holes such as perhaps 9, 18, 1, 2, 3, maybe 4, and down at 10 and 5, just because those areas sit a bit heavier and a bit wetter, so the traffic needs managing a good bit more down that end. So just to do a live example, this is the second green, third tee area. We often find this turns into a very high wear and tear area in the winter. So what we would like to try and do here is utilise the pathway matting as much as possible rather than the grasses. As you can see from here, you can miss
miss the green, miss the pin, 10-15 yards left, and you can be in this muddy, high wear and tear area. So we would like to try and keep this nice turf to be able to play off all throughout the winter. To try and achieve this with the post and ropes, we've got this post and rope front left all the way out to the bunker, and then it will follow the matting out onto the right hand side. So what we're trying to achieve is that if you're playing off the blues or red tees, you'll exit that hole at the front left, walking around the bunker and getting your trolley or buggy onto the matting, where you'll sort of park up ready for the third tee. You will struggle to turn a buggy on this hole, so it's up to you whether you reverse your way out or whether you leave it at the end of the pathway and walk up to the third tee. We've got the stakes at the end of the matting, so we're able to park our trolleys on the matting and then walk through to the fourth tee. That will really help and reduce the wheels turning and churning up the ground. We also have a post and rope at the back right of the green to stop traffic going around the back. Again, a high wear and tear pinch points. You hit your ball just long and you're in a muddy, bare area just at the bottom of that leyland line around those irrigation boxes. So by roping that off, we're trying to protect the turf and have better playing surfaces very close to the green, because once it gets muddy, it won't repair over the winter. So just to reiterate, if you're playing off the white tees for the third, then be prepared to try and exit the second green from the right hand side. And then if, as said previously, if you're looking to play from the third tees off the blues or the reds, just get yourself prepared and get off that left side. So that will, as we said, protect the surfaces, and we'll play off better surfaces just outside of the greens. So another wear and tear area that we've addressed and put a bit of work into this week, this is around the fourth tee. Fourth tee is a very high wear and tear pinch point. All along the side of the yellow tee is very worn and churned up and turned quite muddy from the amount of traffic that area struggles to handle. So something we've done is, I think it's probably fair to say that 80-90% of the golf that is played this time of year and throughout the winter will now be off blue tees, which were put out last week. So what we've done on the fourth here is to trim down and mow down the left bank of the fourth tee. So this makes it quicker, easier for golf to access this fourth tee, and it gives the rest of the wear and tear area, grass pathway all around the sign, and as I said, the left side of the yellow tee, a chance to rest and recover for the remainder of the winter, so we can get that back to grass before the next season. And just a couple of final notes on the wear and tear and winter golf. If you are able to, then we very much appreciate carrying. Remember, you haven't got to take 14 clubs out with you. You know, we can always pull a pencil bag out, play with odds one time, evens the next. That's going to create a good challenge for you. You're going to be able to walk a bit closer with your carry bag to greens and tees and things like that. So it will help speed up play rather than having to walk around ropes and things. And if you're not able to, people with trolleys and buggies, if we could really just try to think about where we're driving and taking those vehicles, and perhaps parking a little bit further away, not going through the mud, parking a little bit further away, walking a little bit further to the green or to the tee, because ultimately the more wear and tear we have out there, the more buggies will be off, because it becomes slippy and slidey, and also the greenkeepers, us as greenkeepers, will have to go back in and repair these areas, whether it's soil and seed or turf, any of those things. To put time into that is going to take time away from projects and really driving the place forward as we aim and aspire to do by always having a project on to improve the golf course. So to go back and do those maintenance practices for recovering wear and tear, the more we have to do, the less we'll be able to drive the golf course forward. So anything you can do, whether it's carrying half a set or just parking a bit further away and doing a little bit more walking in the winter, it will benefit your golf course in the short term and the long term. an update for you on the 17th tee. Much of our time this week has been spent up working on this project to finish off the levels and get it right in all the corners, so we were all ready for turf. And then we commenced turfing on Thursday. And I'm delighted to announce that we managed to get all the turf down for the tee top by end of play on Friday, and the boys have done a fantastic job doing that. It can be this tee was very much battered last winter as we used it whilst we were renovating the top tee. So it had lots of seed thrown at it, lots of fertilizer and things like that to get it as healthy as we can make it. But to lift that turf up, it doesn't always come up quite as well, as the roots haven't had time to get down deep with how battered it was last winter. So boys did a great effort to get all that turf back on that tee. Very hard and jigsaw puzzly at times. And also we clearly have made this a good amount larger. So to finish off, we came up short with turf, with some of it just breaking and unusable, and really struggling to transport some of it back up. Just between that and making the tee larger, we decided to take the turf off of the back existing tee, that back tee. That back tee is no longer in play for members or competitions because it is out of the measured course. It is way beyond 10 yards further than what the measured point is, so we can't use that for competitions. We would like to keep it going as either a nursery or a potentially a competition tee for something like last week where we had the Dorset and Wilts pros in, or potentially the upcoming Clutch Tour for going forward. Using it for events like that would be great. But what we decided to do to help finish this tee project off, we've taken the turf off there, and then that will also give us an opportunity to level that tee. Yet again, it's another tee which is very uneven. So yeah, we always do things for more than one reason. So that's going to allow us to help complete that project with nice tee turf. So we've taken the turf off of there, then we'll get that leveled, and then we'll seed that to grow that back in for future competitions and potentially maybe even a nursery again. But so that's the reason why we've taken the turf off of there. But as I said, absolutely delighted to get that tee top finished, and then there's a few snagging jobs around the outside to do to sort out the banks and yeah, just finish that job off. But yeah, delighted to get that turf on that tee so that can start recovering, and we can start rolling that and giving it a few hand mows and stuff, so we can get it in play in the spring and as soon as possible. Thanks for watching this week all. Hopefully some good content in there that makes sense of what we're trying to achieve with the wear and tear and the posts and ropes, and please do pass that on to playing partners, etc., and things that people may not see this, because it's important that we look after our golf course in the winter as discussed. And also, as that 17th tee comes towards a close, that is our last winter construction project out on the site on the golf course, which is fantastic, and that will allow us to then get to some of the odd jobs that we've to-do lists, the jobs that have been on the to-do list for a long time that we've been looking to get to when we've got some time. So, and also into the new year, we can start doing some early season preparation for the early competitions we have, such as Pro-Ams and Clutch Pro Tour and things like that. So that's great. Not 100% sure whether we'll meet at the end of next week. I will endeavour to get a video out prior to Christmas with everything that's gone on next week, and then the early part of the week after. So yeah, we can have a catch up then, and then and that'll lead nicely into Christmas. So yeah, we'll catch up one point time before Christmas, and yeah, thanks again.